Hey guys, welcome to the studio tour. It's going to be a quick one. There's not a lot to show. It's just one room. And we want to do this now because we're about to tear down the whole thing and move it downstairs. Since we moved here, we've been doing the show up here in this beautiful room with this beautiful view that has been kind of squandered. The same view that causes us to have a really hot studio when we do shows and have to, during daytime, the light leakage sucks. But we're going to change this to our bedroom/living space, and we're going to be in the basement so we can do more reliable shows during the day. But this is the studio.
It is winter right now, and it is hot up here.
Yeah, it's hot. It's like, yeah. I just wanted to show you what we came up with. One of the main reasons we had the show in the top to begin with is because if I was to put the camera, which you see here for the show, at the same distance that we always put it in Vancouver, it was here, and this is where we set it up to start. With a new lens and some working out stuff, I was able to get the camera here, which allows us to use the smaller room downstairs. It'll be in the same position downstairs. So that's one of the main reasons. It took, for me, a year of messing with the setup until I was happy with how it looked with the camera there.
And what about the lighting? Because we have the lighting on this side.
Yeah. And yeah, so the lighting is also going to be, that's the thing I'm a little nervous about, is how the lighting will look, moving all the lights a little bit closer, but I think we'll see. It's going to look good. It'll be fine. Anyways, one of the things that I like the most about this setup is what I can do here, which I do very rarely because I don't like to change the setup of the show. This whole idea was we have this beautiful room up here, so I was I want to use it. So I want to be able to move it all out of the way and the show setup and then enjoy the space. And then when we do a show, set it back up again. That's exhausting. I'd rather just be able to use this space for living and always have the show set up, ready to go, so we can do more shows. But I do think this was a cool idea, though, because I can set the whole thing over to the side.
Yeah.
And then you have all this space. And we can even move these couches. This is all modular. And there's storage underneath these things, these tatami mats. Whoa. We call this the stage. As you guys may have heard us talk about the stage. That's all it is. 4 boxes with tatami mats on top. And you can put stuff inside.
Deep storage, man.
Deep storage, we call it, for storing winter clothes and stuff, because our house doesn't have a lot of storage. There's the air conditioning unit up there, which bless Becky with cold air during the summer.
Yes.
But again, during the summer, when you're getting the air conditioning going, heck, we use it during the winter because it gets hot up here with the sun coming in. This isn't even open. It just beats down. And even when you've got cold air coming at you, your back feels hot because you can feel the heat coming in from this window. We tried our best to make this room work, but it's time to move. But I still love the way it looks.
Yeah, totally.
So yeah, I think... And then over there, of course, you can see our AMD from our AMD PC here. Ooh. And behind the TV, so we can roll this right out like this. And the idea was to hide all the wires behind. Oops, did I unplug that?
You did.
Whoops.
See, isn't it so clean? There isn't wires everywhere.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And so... here's the PlayStation, obviously. That's where we have that hooked up, and this is the iPad that controls the audio. And down here is where the whole mixing board is. All the wires and cords for audio are right there, which we drag out, but we don't need to drag them out anymore because we have wireless modules. And there's the camera, and it has an HDMI running into the capture cards. Everything runs off the AMD PC here. Yeah, and then we have just storage for tons of electronics and stuff like that. Mainly, honestly, sadly, and shamefully, I have no organization right now in these.
But it's hidden.
Everything's in there and hidden, mainly. It's just tons of wires and stuff instead of having it out.
And Fraser has told me it can't catch on fire.
It can't catch on fire. I have an entire cube dedicated to the power stuff. And everything. So yeah, that's what it looks like. But then to set up a show...
Fraser, would you work up here? You work up here sometimes.
Sometimes. What I usually do is take my laptop. Sometimes I'll stand right on the stairwell here And I actually find this to be ergonomically pleasing like this sometimes. When I'm in the mood for it.
That table wasn't originally here. That was
Yeah.
like Fraser's genius idea to give us more table space, working space.
And it slides around, and the legs are there to prevent it from falling. But yeah,
So smart.
It works.
And then Fraser, you would work on this chair as well, right? And sometimes
yeah,
on this table?
we have the fold-out kind of relaxing zero gravity chair that we use. So I'm just going to turn on all the lights here to show you what the show setup looks like.
I'll turn these ones on.
And you guys can see, and you guys can see how the transition happens from beautiful living space into show mode. Which again, I really like what I came up with for being able to like use this for multiple purposes. But frankly, it still is a lot of effort to switch between the two purposes. And there's days where it's just hot up here, and you're like, I could, you just don't want to do this whole rigmarole. This actually goes pretty quick. The thing that we didn't account for was light leakage. And no matter how meticulously you block every crack, you think you've blocked everything, but the light leaks. It just gets in nooks and crannies, and shows that we do during the day always look slightly different color than the ones we do during night.
Sorry, you get like little light leakage like back here too.
And it messes with the green screen, and that just sucks, and that's annoying. So there you go, and you should be able to see on the screen our show setup there. I'll just get this last window closed here. And I hope that the 360 camera was able to transition between the two colors of light.
You made that seem really quick and easy.
That's the easy part. The hard part is switching, is getting every single little bit of light leakage.
Yeah, we can spend like an hour just...
Sometimes it feels like we're spending an hour doing it, but I mean, yeah, it's pretty cool that we can do that. But again, for me, I usually only want to do night shows because of the light leakage. But anyways, that's the studio. And then we sit here, and I can move you guys. That's kind of an interesting angle.
Yeah.
And that's what it looks like to be in between us and the show setup. And
this is what it feels like to be us.
Yes. And you can even see us down there. Whoa. So you can see.
So I look over there, and I wave to the camera. But it looks like I'm looking at you guys.
And then this table also folds down, which is where I keep everything here, but I rarely fold it down. And I can just start recording, so maybe when I edit this video, I'll clip. That's what it looks like as I'm holding this 360 camera. That's pretty cool.
Hi. I'm looking at the screen, reading the chat, see if we can see more of the chat than what shows up on the actual screen.
So anybody who saw the Vancouver studio tour will think that this looks similar, kind of like the arrangement anyways, like everything's kind of the same distance, and that was very particularly something I wanted to do, was to make sure that it all had the same dimensions. But yeah, I guess the last thing I'm going to do, you want to fold that table down?
Yeah,
that's kind of interesting because it makes a lot more space once you fold down the table.
So Fraser wanted everything to be pretty modular, and yeah, able to.
And that table is from IKEA, one of our favorite pieces of furniture that it has drawers and stuff, which is also nice for extra storage.
Yes.
And it goes over to the side. Very stable, very heavy. But yeah, I was just thinking we would open up that and pop this outside. I think it's kind of neat. So you can see what it'd be like to be a hummingbird looking in at the studio while we're doing a show.
Your wings are going so fast.
So yeah, that's the studio setup. Yeah, we're going to be moving it all down to our lowest floor, and then that'll be good.
And we'll do another studio tour then.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks guys for watching, and thanks for joining us in our home. Goodbye.
Goodbye.